we do have to go back to the 19th. Okay. This was posted over there at that Park Place is where we're going to start. Because I thought this was just kind of funny and a good way just to get us going. So, that Park Place. Rachel Zegler's Snow White movie story spoiled by the British Board of Film Classification. Trigger warnings.
What?
Yep. So, trigger warnings have increasingly become commonplace, often serving as tools to help audiences avoid distressing or unsettling content. Some view these as necessary, but the current political climate might be such that we could safely assume the majority of people are over being told what might trigger them in a movie. So, the Snow White, the warnings provided to viewers have arguably crossed the helpful caution for mentally fragile, whatever. We're going to go down. I'm looking for it's, I believe, in this paragraph. Right in here. Okay. Among the list of cautions, viewers are explicitly warned about ominous trees, a character threatening to shove something up another's backside, and a woman being, quote, deliberately poisoned. Why are these?
I mean, was anybody really worried about spoilers for this?
No, but why? But why are these?
They're so specific.
They're so specific. Why are we getting trigger warnings for?
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm all for trigger warnings for like those that like actually need it, but like these are so like specific and like honed in.
Okay, so like let's just say this was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I know you've seen that one, and this was a that's the one with the big snake.
Yeah.
Let's say there was a warning about giant spiders. That would make sense to me for arachnophobia.
Yeah.
Ominous trees. We don't have to look at any of the ominous trees and sticking something where the day won't shine. They'll try. Like these are so oddly specific that they make no sense. Weird, so this was just a little joke piece for us to talk about for a second because apparently the British Board of Film Classification needs to warn everybody about these. So that I guess hold on. We need to be serious for a second. We need to put up a trigger warning for sarcastic attitudes, bad hot takes.
Bad hot takes? Excuse me. My hot takes are enamorous.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Well, we know how well the movie's doing, and since now we have been properly warned about ominous trees, we can go over to the New York Post. Rachel Zegler celebrates Snow White being #1 movie in the world, despite sleepy box office debut. So, over on her Twitter, we can't show you the original post because that's gone. Whoopsies. Rachel Zegler posted a photo of herself in her wig, saying #1 movie in the world. Zegler 23 wrote alongside a photo of her dressed in the iconic outfit. Now, as soon as the dress post went up, I believe it was within the hour, comments had been turned off. And then sometime later, this post was removed. There is a new post, which is now this photo, still saying it, but the comments are back on. And everybody in the comment section is just going, there's nothing that we're competing against, right? But even Deadline has gone ahead and jumped forward and has finally admitted that yes, this movie's kind of a bomb. That really we only need the headline out of this one. Again, they were going forward and saying that this was last week that the movie was going to be successful. We were not talking about Snow White because I was tired about talking about Snow White. But last week they were saying it was going to be successful despite the minor population that won the election. And now they've admitted that actually has nothing to do with politics. It goes on to give the actual percentages down in this paragraph here. Not that paragraph. Maybe it was that paragraph. Anyway, it goes down to actually breaking down the percentages that no matter which category they're looking at, it bombed.
Yeah.
It bombed so bad that we now have numbers, and they did update the numbers about 1:00. I was texting you about that. Domestic box office total is currently, let's refresh, make sure there's no other spike changes. We're now to 44 million. This is down from what it was yesterday that I sent it to you. Well, it's up technically because now we count Monday also.
Yeah.
So pre-sales was 3.5. The weekend is where we then get up to our 42. And it did 2.5 yesterday.
That 2.5 on a Sunday? Oh, yesterday was Monday. No man.
Yesterday was Monday. It is also Monday of spring break. It
Some
is
spring break, yeah.
number one for the week, but there's nothing it's competing against.
Yeah.
Or number one for the day. It was an average of $600 a theater.
That's it.
Since theater costs are about since ticket costs are about $20, it averages to about 30 tickets a theater was sold for Snow White.
Jesus Christ.
That's not even one Harkins or IMAX room.
Yeah.
That is pitiful. Now, I did not pull this up, and I should have pulled this up. That's my bad. I wanted to pull up right alongside it.
What, Cap?
We're gonna pull up, the numbers for Cap, and we need 2 more tabs. The numbers for Mufasa.
Oh.
The numbers for The Little Mermaid, because that is its direct competitor technically.
Yeah.
And the numbers for the Marvels. Just give a little bit of everything. So, on Brave New World, we'll come down to the box office. Box office opening weekend was 88 million. Pre-sales were 12 million. So she is definitely far behind on that one.
Yeah, double. Almost double.
Pretty much almost double. Well, no, more than double because the weekend was only 42 after the numbers got finalized.
Okay.
Mufasa. Mufasa is, of course, the most recent live action that came out. This one did surprisingly well. Snow White beats it in the pre-sale by 200,000.
Mm-hmm.
On the first weekend, Mufasa closes at 35 million, so it does beat Mufasa.
Yeah. I think Mufasa was more like just in it for like forever almost.
Because Mufasa's still in some.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why they like Mufasa's making money is just because it's been in theaters for like 4 months now.
It did take off also in that, and the biggest thing is the international. It's sitting almost 2-1.
Yeah,
where that's where Snow White is suffering. Is Snow White is actually beating international right now.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
That's yeah. The Little Mermaid. This is again direct competitor.
Is this like same release window as well? I don't think it is.
This was in May, so this is slightly later.
Fairly close.
So Pre-sales were 10 million, and opening weekend was 95 million.
95? Wow.
Again, compared to 42.
Yeah. Okay. Where
And
did
then
Little Mermaid end?
Little Mermaid it landed pretty well right in the middle where it's supposed to. Worldwide, it got to 600 million. Again, our rough numbers when we looked at it the other day, Snow White needs to get to 900 to break even.
900? Yeah.
So even if it were to be following Little Mermaid, which it's far behind,
Yeah.
it still wouldn't have made that goal.
I think they might just move Mufasa and keep it in theaters for like 4 months. But they really can't with their slate.
Well, not even that. I think they're going to try to, but I don't $600. I don't see theaters letting it sit there.
No,
they would rather bring back old movies and sell them for $5 a seat.
Yeah,
because you should be making that even on a $5 ticket. You can make that quickly on almost any sell.
Yeah.
That is pitiful numbers.
$600 per theater.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's not even paying your entire staff the 1 hour.
Yeah.
And that's the entire day. That is horrendous.
But that is like one movie though, yeah.
Well, yes, but that was the number one movie for the day also.
Yeah. But also, like nothing's coming out right now.
Well, no, nothing has come out, so they're waiting. I mean, it did better than Paddington. Paddington's been out since Mufasa.
Yeah.
So, correct. But at the same time, that also means that we're doing this great with our numbers, competing nothing. This is missing the people that are just like, it's a Monday. We have nothing to do. We'll do what we do every Monday. Go to the movies. They're going, oh, nah, we'll wait. We'll find something else to go see. Now, that is a small crowd, to be fair. That's more of the weekend crowd, but the weekend crowd really didn't come out for it either.
Yeah.
The Marvels, which is the last one I had here, domestically, it ended at 84 million. Okay. Oh, I gotta go to the box office. My bad. The pre-sales were 6.6, so double Snow White.
Yep.
And its first weekend was more than Snow White by 4 million.
Okay.
Not saying it's going to go the route of the Marvels, but this was a November drop, which is usually a pretty good time for movies. And the numbers are lining up pretty close to here.
Yeah.
And the Marvels were in it for like 2 months. So we'll see where it goes. It's just, I wonder where it's going to land. And I wonder what Disney's response will be to it. Where do you think they're going to go? Do you think?
I think they're going to Mufasa and just keep it in forever. Like they need to make some of it back, you know?
No,
or do they just take the box office hit as a tax reduction?
It's going to be a write-off one way or another. They're never going to make their money back. So it is going to be a written-off film. But where I'm more so trying to get to is when a shareholder finally gets to ask the question, what is the answer? Why did this fail?
Yeah.
Any guess what you think they're going to go with?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because that's why I showed the Deadline article. And again, we don't talk politics, but I showed the Deadline article because originally I thought that's how they were going to lean. But now even Deadline is stating you can't go that way either because that's not the case. I think the word just got out too fast of how bad this film was.
Yeah.
Even though people are still talking about how amazing and great and it's the best live action. And it is not the best live action. You can't. You don't have an opinion because you didn't.
I
You
got no
didn't
horse
do
in the race,
one
man.
thing you were supposed to do.
Listen, man, I'm busy.
What did you say?
I took Lynn to school, and then we went grocery shopping, and then I played Siege.
Exactly.
I played Fortnite before I played Siege. Sorry.
Oh. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gosh, George, I might go tomorrow.
So we're gonna have to talk about well, we'd have to talk about. We'd have to do the numbers update, but we're gonna actually have to have an in-depth talk about it then next week. Is what you're saying?
I suppose.
I mean, I guess I was gonna bring it up anyways a little bit next week because, in case you guys don't remember, I will be boarding the Disney Wonder this week. They're supposed they always show theatrical running movies on the ships, so supposedly it will be on the ship. I guess we'll find out if it's
It'll be
taking
on the
this
ship.
bad. Maybe not.
It'll be on the ship. What else are they gonna play? Inside Out 2?
Probably.
Captain America? Actually, yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
Cap
no.
Cap ended up doing again better than where we thought.
Yeah.
But that was still a loss also as far as we could predict. Again, we won't know that until next year sometime, but
Yeah.
Mufasa would be the what is showing